Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Kazuri Alameen. And once again, I'm grateful to be in the land of the living this morning. I'm very grateful to be in the land of the living. My word of wisdom for this morning is relationships. Relationships is such a very, very important word. One of the definitions of relationships is the state of being connected. The state of being connected by blood, association, or marriage, etc. The state of being connected. And I think that's a very, very true definition, but life has taught me it's great to have connections with your marriage and family relationships, associations, state of being connected. Yes. But life has taught me and continues to teach me what is your relationship with yourself? That's where it all starts at. It's bigger than your family, your job, your marriage. What is your relationship with yourself? Life has taught me a lot of people, marriages are very fragile because they don't have relationships with themselves and they've gotten married, and that's putting some stressors within their marriage because they didn't know themselves before they got married. And this happens a lot of times. A lot of times it doesn't. But my point is, what is your relationship with yourself? And it's so very, very important, ladies and gentlemen. I've been doing groups relationships for years, and we are with ourselves all the time. We are with ourselves all the time. Even if you're married, and once again, I respect the institution of marriage very highly, but you're not with your spouse all the time. Your spouse is not with you all the time. That's just real talk. Not that it's good or bad, it's just real. But we're with ourselves all the times, in times of sadness, happiness, doubt, great faith, faithlessness. We're with ourselves all the time. And so it's important that we have a great connection with ourselves, how we treat ourselves when we are by ourselves, for ourselves, with ourselves, through ourselves. Then that will be manifested to others. Example, some people got this thing twisted. You want to go out and love and forgive everybody, example. You have not loved and forgive your own self. That makes you a hypocrite to yourself because you can't take anybody where you've never been. I don't care who it is. Nothing takes the place of the school of experience. Nothing takes the place of the school of experience. So what is your relationship with yourself? How would you answer that question in your private thoughts? And I say that by design because we all got private thoughts. All of us. How would you answer that question to yourself in your private thoughts? What's your relationship with yourself? Even if you're married right now, highly respected, what's your relationship with yourself still? How do you treat you? How do you embrace you? How do you encourage you? How do you chastise you? Do you chastise you? Do you encourage yourself? Or do you seek validation from other people to tell you about your life? A lot of people do that, waiting for validation from somebody else to tell you about your life now, your life. Relationships, the state of being connected. It's very important that we continue to strive to grow and build good pieces of connectedness with ourselves. And then we can take care of that to other people. But we're with ourselves all the time, ladies and gentlemen. It's very, very important. What is your relationship with yourself? You're not on your job all the time. You're not at your kin people's house all the time. But you're with you all the time. What is your relationship with yourself? There are some deficits that you need to take care of. If you need to, please do it. There are things that you're pleased with, that you are totally okay with. Give yourself a pat on the back. It's very important. But it's very important that we grow to a point where we can be honest with ourselves. A lot of people talk about to their own self be true. Very few people peel the onion, I like to call it, and get true. Very few people do that. We got to stop getting drunk and high on these quotes, slogans. We got to get more serious about our lives than that. What is your relationship with yourself? I didn't say your spouse. I didn't say your children. What is your relationship with yourself? Are you pleased with yourself at this time? How are you treating you at this time? How much do you trust you at this time? How much do you believe in you at this time? How much do you love you at this time? These are questions only you can answer, but these are questions only you are supposed to answer. So it's right on point. But be willing to continue to grow and develop. Be willing to fall again in love with yourself for the first time. Be willing to encourage you. Be willing to, when you know you need to do some self-care, you need to be patient, you need to take time out, be willing to do that. It's very important. It's very important, ladies and gentlemen, because we're with ourselves all the time. And it's not a bad thing at all, especially if you're loving yourself, working on yourself, striving to become a better version of yourself. Whereas if you're not working on yourself, you're not striving to become a better version of yourself, and you're pissed off at yourself, you don't like yourself, that's a fragile place to be. But none of us are trees. We have the power to rearrange and change our thinking. When we change our thinking, we're going to think different, of course, hopefully, and then we'll speak different. If I'm thinking different, speaking different, then I have no choice but to act different in the positive. This message is for somebody. What is your relationship with yourself? Stop minimizing who you are. Stop undervaluing who you are. Stop trying to fit the square in the circle to please somebody else. I need you to remember not to forget, we only come through here one time. One time. Sometimes we get drunk on labels, this and that, and my religion and your car and where I stay, all that's irrelevant, ladies and gentlemen, when it comes down to life and death, because death doesn't give a damn. When our time is up, that time is up. So focus on major things and stop focusing on minor things. What's your relationship with yourself? What do you need to work on? What are you working on? What do you need to improve on? How's your self-worth? Your self-worth, not anybody else's. It takes courage to work on yourself. That's why most people run for themselves. They talk about it, sing about it, get high on slogans about it, but they ain't doing nothing about it. It takes courage. I commend a man or woman who work on themselves. You're going to fail sometimes, you're going to succeed sometimes. But it takes courage to do that. So once again, in your private thoughts, how would you answer that question? What is your relationship with yourself? And remember not to forget, you're with yourself 24/7, 365. Everywhere you go, you take you with you. So continue to strive to be happy for you, with you, and through you. If you're not at that point, make it happen because you got everything you need. It's not in a building. It's not in what somebody else said. It's not on a podcast. It's not in a book. It's inside of you. What is your relationship with yourself? Peace.